That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. You shouldn't have to rely on one person. That's just a player. But I know that some of you guys are kind of the extraordinary individuals that that put the time in just to play and enjoy the game for what it is. So maybe as a result, some people would qualify, but yeah, it's not a concern really. It's just food for thought. If you guys think that avatars are necessary or not, and all the things they were capable of. But yeah, you pretty much we're going to be here, and we're going to be available, and we're not going to be hiding, waiting for somebody to tell us it's okay to get involved or to change something, or to fix something. So yeah, I think it'll be prevalent. Like it's already prevalent in some cases. Who would be, the kind of people that provide that actually want to provide input. So we've had a lot of people just offer all kinds of advice or just information, and yourselves included. So even if they're CM or not, we shouldn't base how often we listen to your rank in the guild. But yeah, you're right. I think CMs will obviously have some sort of higher input. Yeah, yeah, I agree, Nix. And then there was the voting system. I know that Mike has some updates. He wants to kind of rebuild the voting kind of process a little bit. But I mean, what is your guys' feedback on how it used to be for voting the plan positions? Yeah, they definitely were. So that's originally we said, okay, well, we have to make some basic changes. Yeah, that's another thing too, because we talk about the amount of counts players can create too, so that all will kind of boil together into some kind of decision based on what is possible for you guys as far as the counts go.
I too agree with that. I'm still here.
And we still can't hear you.
Lay sigh.
That's better. I used to play with somebody on Warcraft or something like that. They always constantly lifted their mic behind their ear, behind their head, basically. And
Why?
they were in an empty room, and we'd notice right away is the damn echo of his voice.
Echo, 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 echo.
So, do you guys think that players um, who like polled for votes and tried to kind of campaign for getting planned, did that make a difference? Do you think, or did players just kind of determine it on their own, willy nilly?
Once you became popular enough, you pretty much weren't going to get unseated. It didn't really matter like how much effort you put in either. It was pretty much like once that name was known by everybody as having planned, they pretty much kept playing until they decided to give it up.
Right. Well, I mean, unless you said, "Hey guys, I don't want plan," right? They wouldn't just automatically vote for you without your input, right?
Some probably would, but I think it was kind of more of a like a courtesy thing, at least at the bare minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a lot of the inconsistencies there with just how backed up staff was and catching up with appeals and making sure everything was clean. Yeah, that's. I think that's pretty much true for all crafty guilds, to be honest. You know, like Screw was one of the main craftsmen. You know, one of the only craftsmen for a long time. Um, and the Goblin Guild, you know, we had. It was like that early on in Chaos. You know, you had characters like Gretty and Sentinel that were really cool guys, really cool players that played goblins exclusively, but kind of were the only ones around. And then when they kind of got popular, bombs came out, and a lot of people came out of the woodworks. But after the nerf, then they just kind of went back down. There was very little because they were like the weakest, quote unquote, class in the realm, and they were so high level, or they just achieved so much, and they could repair and fix my stuff like very easily compared to the other crappy goblins. So yeah, yeah. And then bombs came out, and you saw people like Professor and Jigsaw and uh, a few others. I think Anyanka was in there, kind of in the middle for goblins, as well as one more I'm trying to think of. Didn't play with Rourke that much, but I definitely benefited from Tiburon. Didn't play with Rourke that much, but I definitely benefited from Tiburon.